stop to it. What he had written there made my eyes light up. Dr. Reif had written in detail about the effect of sound frequencies to cure various ailments. Let me explain. Sound frequency is measured in hertz. 1 hertz means 1 pulse per second. 10 hertz, 10 pulses per second. 100 hertz, 100 pulses per second. And so on in a complete cycle. So it doesn't matter the volume, whether high or low, but simply the correct hertz or pulses. Imagine for a moment a surgery without a scalpel, or the slightest incision, where exact sound frequencies can be directed from the outside of the body into the body, directed to the exact spot and destroying tumors, diseased cells, and affected tissue. Well, after seeing all that, I needed to know how to reproduce these frequencies. After all, everything was only on paper. Fortunately, knowing about my research, Rodrigo, the Brazilian archaeologist I mentioned before, introduced me to a neuroscientist named Sarah Ortega. This neuroscientist has a clinic in Barcelona, Spain, and was using this alternative means of treatment in her patients. She has had thousands of cases of various ailments that were treated with the use of sound frequencies. Best of all, she is also a Christian, and was very excited to find out why the ancestors of the Bible lived much longer than us, just by using frequencies. I had no idea if this would really work, but out of faith I had to try. So I gathered my savings and went to Barcelona with my wife to meet Dr. Sarah and do this treatment with the use of sound frequencies. When I arrived there, I asked for God's divine intercession, so that this would finally be our way of connecting to divine power, and that it could restore the pain in my wife's body. Meredith and I sat together and cried out, "Father, may your will be done on earth as it is in heaven." And then we went to Dr. Sarah's office, where she used a device that emitted frequencies into the body. After the appointment, Meredith stood up slowly and deliberate formation. At first, her mobility began to return, and we began to notice her doing simple things that she could, like taking care of the plants in the garden, playing with our grandchildren, kneeling to pray, and even going for bike rides. And as Meredith's mobility improved even to do more and more on her own, her mood began to improve. I could see a genuine joy about her, as if a gigantic weight had been lifted not only from her body, but from her soul. I was so inspired by her progress that I decided to undergo a treatment with Dr. Sarah as well. The truth is that I had been having trouble sleeping for years. This is a little hard to admit, but I was anxious because of my wife's illness, and a ringing in my ears had been bothering me for some time. It took away my peace when it was time to lie down and rest. In a few days after listening to the frequencies on Dr. Sarah's machine, my anxiety and ringing in the ear disappeared. And for the first time since I can remember, I had a peaceful night's sleep and woke up completely refreshed. Soon our friends and family began to ask what made Meredith so much better, so quickly. They could see her gardening, playing with our children, going to the grocery store, and doing other activities that just a little while ago were impossible for her. And I revealed what was written in the 13 manuscripts found in Egypt, and how I was able to access these healing sound frequencies with Dr. Sarah's help. I quickly began to receive requests from people who would like to tap into these frequencies. The first to ask was our neighbor, Mrs. Francisca. She is 59 years old and was suffering from diabetes. She asked me, "Can you share this sound frequency treatment that Meredith used? Can it work to treat my diabetes?" How could I deny Mrs. Francis or anyone else the chance to be cured of their pain and suffering? So I contacted Dr. Sarah and asked how I could access these frequencies to help treat various ailments of people close to me without having to travel to Barcelona. She told me that it was possible to record these frequencies with a device and send them to me in digital form, but this was $1,000. Even so, I did not hesitate. I took all my finances and invested in this. After receiving these frequencies, I had to test to see if they would really work the way they did for my wife. So I started sending them to some people close to me and told them to listen every day for a few minutes and tell me what changes they were feeling. And amazingly enough, it really worked. See for yourself what these people who have tested it have to say about it.
Hola, soy Francisca, vecina del Señor Héctor. Cuando vi el milagro que las frecuencias hicieron en Meredith, yo también quise probar. Soy una persona que desde hace años sufre de diabetes tipo 2. Escuché las frecuencias con mucha fe en Dios y creo que ocurrió un milagro. Realicé mis exámenes y los análisis de azúcar en sangre son normales. Ahora soy una persona renovada, con ganas de vivir. Todo en mi vida cambió. Doy gracias a Dios por Héctor y por compartir este maravilloso descubrimiento.
I'm recording this video out of gratitude to my friend Hector. For years I used medication to reduce gastric disease provided by Hector. I feel like a new man. I'm eating everything I like again and I've stopped taking the medications, so I don't feel like burning up anymore. Once again, Hector, thank you very much for your help.
Some suffered from joint pain, blood sugar, high blood pressure, vision problems, fatigue, poor memory, and just about every ailment you could imagine. Not only were people being healed by the frequencies, but it was also acting as a beacon of light, bringing connection to divine power and attracting non-believers seeking relief from their sufferings. And through her healing, many of them were coming to Christ. When you start using the frequencies, you will feel energy from the moment you wake up until bedtime, without pain or tiredness. Your body will be vitalized, and your immunity shielded against negative interferences that may arise. The frequencies invigorate each of your organs. You will breathe better, your vision will improve, your taste will be more refined, all your senses will be amplified. It was very clear to me that sound frequencies are capable of transforming many lives, and I felt it was my responsibility to share this with the world, so that people can have more health and fulfillment. And that is how the Sacred Frequencies program was born. The only program in the world that connects you to the divine frequency, treating all pains and adversities, enabling you to have more vitality, disposition, and quality of life. And the best, without surgery, medicines, scalpels, prescriptions, or anything of the sort. In case you are wondering whether it is necessary to wear headphones, know that it is not necessary. You can wear them if you prefer, but you such thing as a correct volume. In fact, the volume can be almost inaudible, and it will work just the same, because it's not about the volume of the sound, whether higher or lower. The sacred frequency consists of pulses, which reverberate according to their own intensity, which has nothing to do with the pitch of the sound. Nor is it necessary to pay attention to the sounds. You can work while listening, go for a walk, eat, or even sleep. It really does sound like magic, because after listening to just one of the sounds, you will feel more willing and connected to God. You will feel quietly confident. Security will exude through the pores of your body, and will enable you to do that which you have always wanted to do. But for some reason, sometimes confused with tiredness or procrastination, you didn't do. Therefore, you will live better, always preserving your well-being and your physical health. Imagine you start using the sound frequencies. In a day or two, you begin to feel differently. The pain and discomfort you have been experiencing begin to disappear as your energy and vitality begin to rise like a phoenix rising from the ashes. I am sure that discovering these frequencies was God's purpose for my life, because I started receiving many thank you videos like these from here.
I had acute arthrosis. I felt pain in all the joints. Now I feel that my joint, just like when I was young. I play with my grandchildren, ride my bike, go for walks. Everything's perfect. Thanks to God and to the healing power of His frequencies.
My little girl was very hyperactive and disobedient. Actually, she didn't like to study at all, and she just wanted to spend the whole day on her cell phone. Then I left the sacred frequencies playing in my house. She changed completely. She's calmer now. She started to obey me. It really transformed my home. I also felt many beneficial effects listening to these frequencies. I feel younger. Thank you very much, Hector.
And if you are thinking that this is a lengthy course that will only waste your time, rest assured that this is not the case at all. The Sacred Frequencies program gathers the 7 sound frequencies organized in audio files, which act discreetly in each part of your body. I have organized each frequency according to your need, which I have called Divine Flow. It is very powerful, helps repair your body's entire circulatory system, and amplifies the cardiac field. It is highly recommended for those who suffer from high or low blood pressure, who have been diagnosed with a heart problem, and also recommended for those who suffer from varicose veins, thrombosis, or have had an iron deficiency in the body. In effect, your circulatory system will be packed to work better, and consequently, you will be able to eliminate more toxins, fats, and everything that can harm your blood. There are no contraindications, and you can listen to it as many times as you like. Just press play and feel the benefits. The Divine Frequency 2, entitled Frequency of Genesis. In 2010, John Hutchinson, a Canadian bioenergy expert, helped purify the poisoned water in the Gulf of Mexico after the oil spill. The polluted area was treated for 4 hours, and by the next morning the water was clear. Laboratory tests confirmed the complete removal of oils and grease, But you didn't even need this proof because before, the water was completely brown, turbid, and after receiving it, the frequency was light green and teeming with shoals, crabs, and even dolphins. If this frequency cleaned up the Gulf of Mexico, imagine what it will do to you, who have 70% water in your body. I highly recommend it for anyone who knows they have accumulated toxins, grime, fluid retention, and even deep fat. After hearing this frequency, you will feel your body completely renewed. Sacred frequency, called the creative force, is a composition of frequencies that promotes not only complete repair, but recharges your body energetically, returns it to wellness and perfect functioning. This is the sacred frequency that brings life. The sacred frequency 4, I have called divine longevity. It offers the prevention and repair of genes that can be damaged by time, excess toxins. This track prevents accelerated telomere shortening, which represents a reduction in one's lifespan. It is now possible to know, on average, how long you have to live by measuring the size of your telomeres. Therefore, preserving telomeres is a fundamental part of the secret to longevity, a fact that is furthered by this powerful frequency. Listen to it and enjoy the benefits of increased quality and longer life. Sacred frequency number 5, called restorative sleep, helps you get the quality restorative sleep that is essential for the release of important hormones that act to repair the body. This frequency will produce a mental and physical relaxation for the body to regenerate itself. You will wake up refreshed, with a tremendous sense of well-being, and will have provided your body with an opportunity for deep restoration. This is what I used to repair my insomnia after helping my wife. The divine frequency 6 is called the therapeutic frequency. This frequency works on the natural serenity of the human mind. Importantly, there are no contraindications with any mental conditions, such as schizophrenia, epilepsy, brain dysrhythmia, or other neurological and mental problems. It has also been used by people who have been feeling anxious, lost, and even depressed. They all report that after hearing this track specifically, they have felt clearer of mind, more confident, and even more secure. The sacred frequency number 7, I have titled Divine Energy. This frequency completely recharges the body and awakens high physical and mental vitality. In effect, this frequency works on the 7 major glands in your body and promotes an energetic regularization in the major energy distribution centers of the body. Deep toxins are removed, including those from negative emotions, the past, and even old traumas. For this reason, a great flow of energy is perceived in your body. You feel and become a health magnet, in the mood to do whatever you feel like doing. After this shower of frequencies, your body will have undergone a complete regeneration, and all organs will be functioning in full harmony. All you have to do is press play. This is the best gift you can give yourself, because most people forget that the greatest wealth that exists is good health. No wonder Noah, Moses, and Methuselah lived to be hundreds of years old now. I'm not saying that listening to these frequencies will help you live to be 200 years old, but I really believe that you will live much longer than you would without them. And more importantly, you will live better without pain, happier, and closer to our Lord and Savior. It is real, and it is. Allow yourself that functions perfectly, without pain, so that you can enjoy life in good health, and even have more longevity. You will sleep better. You will wake up with more energy to do whatever you want. Your digestion will improve. Your eyes will be more active, clearer. Even your memory will improve. Your whole body will work optimally, and you don't have to give anything up either. And no, you don't have to listen to all the sound frequencies at once. Just listen to the one you prefer or feel you need the most, and you're done. The frequencies have already helped thousands of people to relieve their pain and feel younger, being able to do the things that make life worth living, like running and playing with their children and grandchildren without worrying about injury. Being able to enjoy more physical comfort, more emotional stability, and more spiritual peace deepens their relationship with our Creator. At this point, you may be asking yourself, how can you access the sacred frequencies? And I can tell you right now that you won't need to invest anything close to what I had to invest. Because my intention is not to make big profits like the pharmaceutical industry does with people, selling expensive drugs that only treat symptoms instead of solving the root cause of the problems once and for all. This is not about money. For me, it's about answering God's calling on my life and impacting as many lives as possible by sharing this divine healing. I really want to make this decision as easy as possible for you. Now you may be asking yourself, what will the price be to access the Sacred Frequencies program? And I need to ask you, how much would you be willing to invest to get rid of your problem? Imagine now that you have an eraser in your hands, and this eraser is capable of removing all the pains that bother your body the most. Emotional, physical, and mental pain. Now picture a blackboard. one of those from your school days, and on it is written, with white chalk, all the pains you have been going through in the last few years. Diabetes, low blood pressure, joint pain, forgetfulness, respiratory diseases, cardiovascular diseases, insomnia. Whatever you have been feeling, imagine it written there. That eraser in your hands are the sacred frequencies, which in a few moments you will be able to access. And with each play button you hit on a frequency track, they will erase all the pain you had written on the blackboard. Day after day, the board is getting cleaner and cleaner, and so will your life be. Happier, more active, with more vitality, joy, willingness, and best of all, connected with our Creator. So how much would you be willing to pay for access to the sacred frequencies? Well, the good news is that today, you will have the opportunity to access the sacred frequencies for infinitely less than it should really cost. I paid Dr. Sarah $5,000, and that was still very cheap for the power they have. And you have seen that they really work and are working for thousands of people. And today, the price you will pay is 80 times less than what I had to pay to get access. See below this video, there will be a special price button. By clicking it, you can sign up for the Sacred Frequencies program. My advice is to do this soon for 2 reasons. The first is that very soon this price will increase. Tomorrow it could be double or triple what it is today, because that would still be fair. And the second is that the big pharmaceutical industry is trying to bring this, so it could be that at any moment this will simply cease to exist, and you will no longer have the opportunity to access the Sacred Frequencies program. So make your decision soon, and tap the button below to sign up for Sacred Frequencies for 80 times.